Hi everyone, we're going to be talking about application letters in this video. So thank you for watching all of these videos for this lesson. It's the best way that I think I can get the information across to you since we're not actually face-to-face in a classroom. I think this is a good way to for you to kind of get the basic core of the information, but then get some commentary on the side as well and some hints and tips and tricks that will make your process a little easier. The previous presentations you watched were created with Prezi, which is kind of a more dynamic presentation software. I'm going to use PowerPoint or really Google Slides on this next presentation, and I'm doing that intentionally because I want for you to compare and contrast these two, because I will send you a poll later in the week asking you which one you preferred. So I want to make this class as adaptable to your needs as I can, and that's one way I can do it. So let me share my screen so that you can start watching what we're doing here. So with cover letters or application letters, they're called both, so it just depends on who is doing the naming. So go with either one as they're shown to you. I also want to give a quick advertisement for a free service that TCC offers, and that's our Career Services Center. Really nice people who want to help you find a job. So when you're ready to actually go on the job market, they can help you with things such as mock interviews, different resume materials, things like that. So please look them up. The letter format is something that you'll need to know for this assignment. We have not yet covered how to write letters, so I am going to provide you with some formats to use, basically templates that you can download. And it will be in our Week 3 Lessons and Assignments folder. And I'm going to give you a PDF that just describes it and shows you an example of it. But then I'm also going to give you a Microsoft Word document you can download and use. I'm also going to send you to a Google Doc, but you will need to save or download that file into your own Google account. Don't just start typing it on that file, because other people can see it and take it, and it's not yours to keep. So we'll give you instructions within that document on how to download it, make it your own. With cover letters, you basically need to answer some questions throughout the letter, and that is, why should you be interviewed for the position? What's so special about you? Tell the employer that. How are you different from the other applicants? Why you and not the other people that have applied? How are you a good fit for this company? Give us the answers to those informations by the overall gist of your document. With cover letters, one thing that's really beneficial to do is to research the company. We're living in a great age where you can Google a company and find out all about them. What are they most interested in? Are they all about making money? Are they being efficient? Are they giving back to the community? Are they focused on the environment? What are they focused on? What are their values? See what you can find out about them, and then you want to mirror those values in your application materials. You always want to link your skills with their job listing. They've told you in their job listing exactly what they want. We want these people to be able to do these things. These are the required things. These are the preferred things. Make sure that you are mirroring those job traits that they want to have, and show them that you do possess them. You also want to, when you're writing a letter, try to address the specific person who's going to be opening the file, who's going to be opening the email or opening the envelope that you mail in. Find out who that is if you can. It may be in the job listing. You may be able to make some calls and find out. If you can't, if that information is just not available, you can always address the hiring manager, and that's usually generic enough to cover your bases. What you want to do in your cover letter is elaborate on the quick facts that you had to present in your resume. Your resume is one page full of bulleted points, verb phrases, and what you want to do now is elaborate on that, open up on that, spend some time with it. You write the cover letter after you've written the resume. So the resume is first, it kind of lays the groundwork. Now you go back and review it and say, what's special here that I can highlight? When I was applying for English teaching positions, I of course had to say I prepared lessons for Composition 1, for example. But what I did in one of my paragraphs was really kind of expand the scope of what I liked to do in Comp 1. Maybe I tried to create a sense of community, and I did that through this certain assignment. And it was a paragraph that was maybe 8 or 10 lines long, but it gave a snapshot of who I was as a teacher. And that's a really good insight to your personality and who you are. And it lets the company find out a little bit more about you before they interview you. Helps them find it if they want to interview you. You can show your personality. I think at that time I was using Star Trek Next Generation as the basis for my Composition 1 classes. So if we had anyone who was really into Star Trek or science fiction or just kind of a off the beaten path take to composition, they would appreciate something like that. And I don't think it was enough to offend any of the Star Wars people in the room either. You will want to tailor your letter for each position for which you apply. And that's one reason why you research the company and try to imitate what they've done with their company and their value statements and put that into your letter. And that will help you to be more specifically focused on them. Your letter will have 4 paragraphs. So this is kind of the nuts and bolts of how to write it. It will have 4 paragraphs. It starts with an introductory paragraph. Then it will have education or experience, and those can be in any order, and a closing paragraph. I say it has to have 4 paragraphs. It has to have a minimum of 4 paragraphs because you want 1 each on your education and 1 on your experience. And again, those can be in any order, but it needs to be the same order as your resume because these are companion documents. Imagine that the screener has the application letter on one side and the resume on the other side of their desk, and they're reading both of them at the same time. They need to be following the same basic organizational structure. Here's an example introductory paragraph, and what I think I would like for you to do is to pause the video and read it yourself right now. So pause and then we'll talk about it. After the pause, we're going to talk about how this paragraph, that's a really good introductory paragraph, includes the job title. A company may have 10 job openings and they're juggling them. It's the same person interviewing everybody. So what job are you applying to? Make that really clear. Tell them where it was posted so that they will have an idea that that is your location. That gives you a history. If it was posted at the TCC bulletin board, that all of a sudden gives them a lot more information. So give them the information about where it was posted. Say something about your level of interest. This one says, I am very interested in the role. So some kind of enthusiastic joining statement that I want to come be a part of your team. Also let us know or let the reader know your preparation level. What's your education? What is your experience? And then how you meet their expectations. And then attention grabbing phrases such as, I feel my experience has prepared me to work in a fast-paced marketing department. So that shows that this person knows something about this company. Maybe that was included in the job posting. Maybe it was included on their website that the person researched. So researching a company and finding out who they are and what they're all about goes a long way in an application letter. And that's the source of that awesome introductory paragraph that I borrowed. And the middle paragraphs should be at least 2 or more, not just 1. Don't combine your education and experience. Have them be separate. And again, the order, same order as your resume. So here are some examples of what I want to do. They're all here. I want you to pause and read this. And when you're finished reading it, select play again. Okay, now that you've read it, notice what has happened here with these middle paragraphs. There are 3 middle paragraphs, and we have 2 that are on the person's experience, and we have 1 on education. We also, in this experience, in these paragraphs on experience, we found out this person has 4 years of experience and they have the ability to advance within a position. So there's someone who was hired and then they grew in their position and grew into a higher position. It also shares some of the personal passion and value statements, such as this person has a strong passion for helping others. So it's not just I'm in human resources, I love order, I love completing tasks, but I love helping people. So that comes across here. This person enjoys problem solving, so it takes a negative and turns it into a positive. Because basically, folks, any job we have is just a different set of problems to solve, and problems aren't necessarily negatives or difficulties, they're just a situation, and that we are solving those situations is basically what we're all doing for a living. There's a lot of positive language in here, and this is something that maybe doesn't happen in your first draft, but after you write your experience and education paragraphs, you can go back and make sure you've peppered in positive language, such as this person enjoys, it would be a great asset. Different things like that show that there's a positive force, positive energy behind the person writing this letter. The last paragraph starts off sounding like it's an experience paragraph, but it's basically just transitioning us from the experience to the education. I have strong communication skills, which are vital to success in the HR field. I also have a bachelor's degree, so it transitions us very quickly into the education part. So it tells us what are those educational aspects. It names the degree, and it shows how that education adds to the skill set for this job. These are very nicely done, would be nice models to follow. So the middle paragraphs are highlighting those specific points from the resume. You may get inspired and you're writing stuff in your application letter. Make sure that you mention those in your resume, because you may be writing your letter and going, oh yeah, this great thing, and you write about it, and then it's like it wasn't even mentioned in your resume. So go back and double check that to make sure that you know that you've included both points, the same point in both areas. Always relate that education and the work experience to the employer's needs. Don't just write it in a vacuum, but remember their job description and make sure that what they're saying they want in an employee is what you're telling them that you have and that you're ready to apply it to their company. Then you'll have a concluding paragraph. This one's really short, so I'm just going to read it. I appreciate your time in reviewing this letter and hope to hear from you regarding the next steps in the hiring process. Please contact me if I may answer any questions for you. So with this one, the person basically asks for an interview in so many words. They don't say, I would like to interview with you, but it says, I hope to hear from you regarding the next steps. Well, the next steps will probably be an interview. It shows their availability. It's like, please contact me. Their availability is really pretty open. It has a very positive tone. It establishes a good positive rapport. So this sounds like a very pleasant person, that someone you would enjoy working with, that has, again, a good energy, good effort that's going to be provided. So this is a very nice closing paragraph. With this information, you are now ready to write your application letter and your application letter and your resume. If you're going through these and you have any questions or issues, please let me know. Also keep in mind, I'm going to include a quick little video on what the formatting is on uploading this assignment, because it's a little bit non-standard, but I'm doing that for a very good reason. So you may want to watch that video. I'm going to try to make that one really quick, because you've been videoed a huge amount this week. So thank you for watching the videos, and let me know if you have any questions.